Billions and trillions of dollars will continue pouring into the United States of America.
State of the Union.
Because we finally have a president who puts America first. To put America first. I love America.
This is my live reaction. I thought it was going to be much later. That's why I wasn't going to watch it. But it was 8 p.m. Eastern.
We had the exact opposite. From trade to healthcare, from energy to immigration, everything was stolen and rigged in order to drain the wealth out of the productive, hardworking people who make our country great, who make our country run. Under Biden and his corrupt partners in Congress and beyond, it reached a breaking point with the Green New Scam, open borders for everyone. They poured in by the millions and millions from prisons, from mental institutions. There were murders, 11,888 murders. They came into our country. You allowed that to happen. And
this guy's a joke.
Inflation that cost the typical family $34,000 in just a speck of time. Now the same people in this chamber who voted for those disasters suddenly use the word affordability, a word.
He's going to try to market away the fact that he screwed up with tariffs and increased prices for everybody.
Prices that all of our citizens had to endure. You caused that problem.
So now he's blaming.
You caused that problem.
No, it was definitely the tariffs. Nobody agrees with that. He knows that. So he's going to try to market his way out of the problem. The problem is that's still not going to change the issue for everyday Americans. Check it.
I knew their statements were a dirty, rotten lie.
See?
Their policies created the high prices. Policies are rapidly ending them. We are doing really well.
No.
Those prices are
No. He's not doing well. Americans know it. He knows it. He's going to try to market himself out of it.
The price of eggs is down 60%, Madam Secretary.
Eggs? You talking about eggs?
Butter, food, hotels, automobiles, rent is lower today than when I took office by a lot. And even beef, which was very high, is starting to come down significantly. Just hold on a little while. We're getting it down. And soon you will see numbers that few people would think were possible to achieve just a short time ago. Nobody can believe when they see the kind of numbers, especially energy, when they see energy going down to numbers like that, they cannot believe it. It's like another big tax cut. I'm also confronting one of the biggest ripoffs of our times, the crushing cost of healthcare caused by you. Since the passage of the Unaffordable Care Act,
this guy's a clown, man.
Referred to as Obamacare, big insurance company that's gotten rich. It was meant for the insurance companies, not for the people. With our government giving them hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars a year as their stock prices soared 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, and even 1,700%.
Made up.
Like nothing else.
Lies.
That's why I introduced the great healthcare plan. I want to stop all payments to big insurance companies and instead give that money directly to the people so they can buy the healthcare, which will be better healthcare at a much lower cost.
He has no idea what he's talking about.
In addition, my plan requires maximum price transparency. That's a big deal. Sounds so simple, so good. And I did that in my first term, and the Democrats immediately terminated it with full knowledge that they were doing a very bad thing for the people. Costs are going to go way up, and that's what happened. And now I'm bringing them way down on healthcare and everything else.
That's not true.
I'm also ending the wildly inflated cost of prescription drugs like has never happened before.
Here's the problem. I think the Republican Party has turned semi-communist by trying to command and control everything. He's got his hands in too many things. He thinks he's all-knowing. That's the problem. He's not humble.
Most didn't try, actually. But they tried. They said they tried.
He thinks he can do everything.
They didn't even come close. They were all talk and no action. But I got it done. Under my just enacted most favored nation agreements, Americans who have for decades paid by far the highest prices of any nation anywhere in the world for prescription drugs will now pay the lowest price anywhere in the world for drugs. Anywhere. The lowest price.
Is that hitting for y'all? I think that's for a different age group.
So in my first year of the second term, should be my third term, but strange things happen. I took prescription drugs, a very big part of healthcare, from the highest price in the entire world to the lowest. That's a big achievement. The result is price differences of 300, 400, 500, 600% and more, all available right now at a new website called TrumpRx.gov. And I didn't name that one either, by the way.
Republicans are yawning, by the way. Literally, they cut to a Republican.
The very first customer ever to get that big discount, and it is big. Catherine Rayner. For 5 years, she and her husband have struggled with infertility, and they turned to IVF. One drug has been costing Catherine $4,000 to purchase. But a few weeks ago, she logged onto the TrumpRx website and got that same drug that cost $4,000, got it for under $500, a reduction of much more, actually, than $3,500. Catherine, we are all praying for you, and you're going to be a great mom.
TrumpRx, okay. In vitro fertilization, I've heard good things about that. Although, it's part of the healthcare plan now.
So now I'm calling
to promote fertility.
To codify my most.
But again, this goes back to the patriarchy, and women should have kids, and that whole thing that J.D. Vance has been saying, and Elon Musk.
After me to say, let's raise drug prices by 700 or 800%. But John and Mike, if you don't mind, codify it anyway. They may do it. Codify it anyway. Thank you. Many Americans are also concerned that energy demand from AI data centers could unfairly drive up their electric utility bills. Tonight, I'm pleased
They
to
have
announce that
driven
I
it
have
up.
negotiated the new ratepayer protection pledge. You know what that is?
What is that?
We're telling the major tech companies that they have the obligation to provide for their own power needs. They can build their own power plants as part of their factory. So that
Got his hands in everything.
Go up, and in many cases, prices of electricity will go down for the community, and very substantially down.
He thinks
This
he can
is
do everything.
a unique strategy never used in this
Whack-a-mole.
before. We have
That's
an
what he's
old grid.
doing.
It could never handle the kind of numbers, the amount of electricity that's needed. So I'm telling them they can build their own plant.
Instead of
They can produce their own
encouraging
electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to
people
get
and
electricity
incentivizing
while at
them,
the same
he's
time
pretending
lowering
like he can do it all.
electricity for you, and could be very substantial for all of you cities and towns. You're going to see some good things happen over the next number of years. Another pillar of the American dream that is
Someone's sleeping.
under attack is home ownership. With us tonight is Rachel Wiggins, a mom of two from Houston. She placed bids on 20 homes and lost all of those bids to gigantic investment firms that bypassed inspection, paid all cash, and turned those houses into rentals, stealing away her American dream. She was devastated. Stories like this are why last month I signed executive order to ban large Wall Street investment firms from buying up into thousands single-family homes.
He takes one big problem, he makes one big solution to one big problem, and he thinks that's going to fix it. No execution, no implementation. Guaranteed.
Homes for people, not for corporations. Corporations are doing just fine. Racel, thank you very much. Good luck with your home. You'll get one soon.
So he's saying because of that law, he's going to somehow help her be successful on her bids now on homes. We don't know the whole situation,
We're
but
also working to make it easier for Americans
That's
to
crazy.
save for retirement. And under this administration, we will always protect Social Security and Medicare. They are not protecting it for our seniors. We will always protect Social Security.
Social
Medicare,
Security.
Since I took office, the typical 401k balance is up by at least $30,000. It's a lot of money.
It would have been up more
millions
if
of
it weren't for his
people.
tariffs.
The stock market has done so well.
It would have been up more.
Your 401ks are way up. Yet half of all of working Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from an employer. To remedy this gross disparity, I'm announcing that next year my administration will give these often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year, as we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market. Let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
That should include crypto. He's not going to say that, but it should include crypto because his family's benefiting from crypto. Made billions off crypto. But again, it's about implementation, not marketing. This is a big marketing thing. He's really good at that.
They stood up for that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she was here? Now, pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay.
Yes, that should happen. But so should crypto regulation. He won't talk on that. I think that's a great thing, you know?
I wasn't sure if anybody even on this side was going to applaud for that. I'm very impressed. Thank you. I'm very impressed. But when it comes to the corruption that is it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer. Oh, we have all the information.
Now, this is when I found out Trump was a racist.
The number is much higher than that. And California, Massachusetts,
He calls Somalis.
other states are even worse. This is
He hates on the whole community.
The fabric of a nation, and we are working.
Calls them all fraudsters.
So tonight,
Calls them all this and that. Calls them
4 months ago,
terrible
I am
things.
officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President J.D. Vance. We'll get it done. And
JD,
we're able to find enough
that's a
of
joke.
that fraud. We will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly.
Yeah, he's saying because of fraud, they're balanced, but that's
We'll
crazy.
balance our budget.
That's crazy.
The Somali pirates who
He's blaming Somali people.
remind us that there are
He called them
parts
pirates.
of the world where bribery, corruption, and lawlessness are the norm, not the exception. Importing
That's
these
crazy.
cultures through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings those problems right here to the USA. And it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games. Delilah.
It's very racist.
Delilah Colton was only 5 years old in June 2024 when an 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her stopped car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more. The driver was an illegal alien let in by Joe Biden and given a commercial driver's license by open borders politicians and California. Doctors said Delilah would never be able to walk or talk, have a good life. She wouldn't even
He focuses on one thing.
But against all odds, she is now in the first grade learning to walk. And she's here this evening with her dad, Marcus, a fantastic man. Delilah, please, you are a great inspiration. Please stand up.
He uses these people as pawns, as props. And she suffered a terrible, tragic accident, and he just sees them as pawns.
Many, if not most, illegal aliens do not speak English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger, or location. That's why tonight I'm calling on Congress to pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens. And yesterday, as you probably saw at the White House, I hosted a ceremony with Americans who lost their treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration. People came into our country. How we allowed this to happen with our open
This
borders.
is where he gets
These are the angel moms and families.
Demagogish.
For decades, our government betrayed and our media totally ignored. Totally ignored. It was terrible. Hard to believe, actually. In 2023, a 16-year-old high school cheerleader named Elizabeth Medina
just know.
was supposed to
Here's a
perform
man
in
that
the town's Christmas parade, but she never arrived.
bullied his brother to
When I
death.
went home to
Just
look
think
for
about
her,
that.
and she found her lying dead in a bathtub, bleeding profusely after being stabbed 25 times. Elizabeth's killer was a previously arrested illegal alien who had broken in and brutally extinguished the brightest light in her family's life, violently and viciously. Her heartbroken mother is in the gallery.
So he
to
uses
remind everyone in this chamber exactly why we
sad
are
stories like this to
illegal
justify
aliens across our country at record numbers. And we're
his whole
getting
ICE force,
the hell
right?
out of here fast. We don't want it.
He's done a terrible job there, right? He just sees people as pawns.
Thank you very much, Jacqueline. Thank you. We can never forget that many in this room not only allowed the border invasion to happen before I got involved, but indeed they would do it all over again if they ever had the chance. If they ever got elected, they would open up those borders to some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world.
This is how he scares people.
Standing between Americans and a wide open border right now is President Donald J. Trump and our great Republican patriots in Congress. Thank you.
So he has secured the border at the border.
Democrats in this chamber,
But his campaign of transporting people out on the mainland
Homeland Security, it's all cut off. It's all cut off.
has been terrible,
They have
obviously.
instituted another Democrat shutdown, the first one costing us 2 points on GDP. 2 points we lost on GDP, which probably made them quite happy, actually. Now they have closed the agency responsible for protecting Americans
Oh, this is
from
getting long.
terrorists and murders. Tonight I'm demanding the full and immediate restoration of all funding for the border security, homeland security of the United States, and also for helping people clean up their snow. We have no money because of the Democrats, and it would be nice. We'd love to give you a hand at cleaning it up, but you gave no money. Nobody's getting paid. It's a shame. So you have to think about it. We have, in case you didn't know, a pretty large snowstorm out there. One of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight, I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
All emotional arguments. He's very good at arguing emotional arguments, right? And again, this is a guy that bullied his brother Fred to death. So, his own brother. This is the type of person he is. For not joining the family real estate business, for wanting to pursue his passions like Alyssa Liu and all them. He thought being a pilot was like a chauffeur. But what's wrong with the chauffeur? If that's what they want to do, if that's what they're passionate about. And Donald Trump would not have it. So he bullied his brother to death. It's crazy.
Shame. You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country. They're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
See, this is when you have to show composure, because this is when he does the emotional, like, arguments and stuff like that. You have to show composure. But you see it in his eyes. He's very vindictive. He set it up. He's looking very evil right now. Look at this guy. I was going to show you. Let me just show you his look.
I'm asking you to approve the
No, never mind.
America Act.
He's underwater, y'all. He's deep underwater.
Stop illegal aliens and others.
Well, and approval ratings and all that. So
Voting in our sacred American elections, that cheating is rampant in our elections. It's rampant.
it's not
It's
rampant.
very simple. All voters must show voter ID.
And it's not rampant. But
All voters must show.
it just shows how scared he is, right, of the midterms.
In order to vote. And no more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. None. And this should be an easy one. And by the way, it's polling at 89%, including Democrats. 89%.
89%. Well, he thinks he's pulling real high too. So and he's not.
Even the new communist
He knows he's in trouble.
He's a nice guy.
He's in trouble.
Speak to him a lot. And policy, but nice guy.
I
Just
think-
said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard. Wants them to shovel snow, but
All right, it's getting boring,
you
y'all.
apply for that job,
It's the same
original form
Same
job,
points
place.
every single time. He's just gonna try to dig himself out of a bad problem.
Identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America. Now it's no good. No good. Both Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly agree on the policy that we just enunciated. And Congress should unite
Enunciated?
and enact this common sense, country saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens. And the reason they don't want to do it, why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason.
We know who's the real cheat.
Excuses.
We know who the real cheat is. This is when he starts getting political and makes no sense, right? He's hard to
and their policy is so bad.
see. This is where our country's gone, right?
And we're gonna stop.
This is where he just gets so emotional, he gets angry, and that's how he scares people into getting his way. So he's not making any sense at this point. This is what's making him lose though as well. So
in the gallery tonight are Sage Blair and her mother Michelle. In 2021, Sage, who was 14 when school officials in Virginia sought to socially transition her to a new gender, treating her as a boy and hiding it from her parents. Hard to believe, isn't it? Before long, a confused Sage ran away from home after she was found in a horrific situation in Maryland. A left-wing judge refused to return Sage to her parents because they did not immediately state that their daughter was
shame on him for using people as
thrown into
his
Home
props.
State Home and suffered terribly for a long time. But today, all of that is behind them because Sage is a
Well, this is what got him to win, so why would he stop, you know?
full ride scholarship to Liberty University. Sage and Michelle, please stand up. So thank you for your great bravery. And who can believe that we're even speaking about things like this? 15 years ago, if somebody was up here and said that, they'd say, what's wrong with him? But now we have to say it because it's going on all over numerous states without even telling the parents. But surely we can all agree no state can be allowed to rip children from their parents' arms and transition them to a new gender against the parents' will. Who would believe that we were talking about? We must ban it, and we must ban it immediately. Of course, nobody says that. These people are crazy. I'm telling you, they're crazy.
He knows he's in trouble, y'all. That's why he's getting pissed. He's getting pissed. You got to keep your composure, though.
Boy, oh boy. We're lucky we have a country. With people like this, Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick of time.
He finds ways to create mountain out of a molehill and fear where there should be no fear, suspicion where there should be no suspicion.
No one cares more about protecting America's youth than our wonderful First Lady. Now a movie star. She's a movie star. Can you believe it? Who would have believed that? Over the past year, she has had an incredible impact championing AI legislation, advancing a landmark executive order on foster care, and helping secure $30 million to launch the Melania Trump Foster Youth to Independence initiative. It's really a tremendous thing that happened, and had a lot of bipartisan support. She gets much better bipartisan support than I do. I get none. She gets a lot. Someday you're gonna have to tell me how you did that.
Don't be crazy.
And students and educators in every state have joined the First Lady's efforts in the presidential AI challenge, keeping America's next generation positioned to succeed and strongly succeed in the future. Tonight, we welcome two young people whose lives reflect the First Lady's impact, Sierra Burns and Everest Nevermont. Thank you both, and Melania, thank you. I know how hard you worked on her. Thank you very much.
Melania she's the least active first lady that I ever known. I don't know what she's doing there.
I'm very proud to say that during my time in office, both the first 4 years and in particular this last year, there has been a tremendous renewal in religion, faith, Christianity, and belief in God. Tremendous renewal.
This guy doesn't believe in any of that. Trust me. I don't question people's faith, but I have to match it with action. And what's going on in the streets of Minnesota?
This is especially true among
The brutalization of women by
Part
ICE.
of that had to do with my great friend, Charlie Kirk, a great guy.
A hearkening back to the internment camps, Japanese internment camps, the building out of what's equivalent concentration camps, essentially, some are calling. So for immigrants, and many are dying in custody. How about those lives, right? Charlie, sad story. I don't know why anybody would target him. I barely even knew who he was. I never paid attention to him, you know. And so I don't know why people target him. I mean, I heard some of his stuff and I never took it seriously. So
in Charlie's memory, we must all come together to reaffirm that America is one nation under God.
To me, he was like
reject political violence of any kind.
A kid who just didn't understand what he was saying, you know. And now Trump is talking about political violence.
We love religion and we love bringing it back, and it's coming back at levels that nobody actually thought possible. It's really a beautiful thing to see. Above all, unleashing America's promise requires keeping our communities safe. We have made incredible strides, yet
he's losing bad.
Offenders continue to be released by pro-crime Democrat politicians again and again.
Just propaganda now.
Joined tonight by
propaganda.
Anya Zarutska. In 2022, she and her beautiful daughter, so beautiful, what a beautiful young woman, Irina, fled war-torn Ukraine to live with relatives near Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, what's going on with Charlotte? Last summer, 23-year-old Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. No one will ever forget. There were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zarutska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina. do you not stand? How do you not stand? I'm asking this Congress to pass tough legislation to ensure that
people aren't standing because
it's are put behind bars, and importantly that they stay there.
There's been brutal murders in the streets by his own ICE officers, right? I mean, this happened after that stuff happened on the bus with Irina, what he's talking about, and he didn't even know about it till someone told him about it. It was like a meme on social media, and then he was flagging at that point, not winning, so he lashed all over it, right?
New Orleans, Louisiana, big success, and our nation's capital itself, Washington, D.C., where we have almost no crime anymore in Washington, D.C. How did that happen?
So this was trending down anyway. That's what the New York Times was saying. Murders were already trending down. So he's enjoying the benefits of the previous administration.
In fact, crime in Washington
Same with inflation.
is now at the lowest level ever recorded, and murders in D.C. this January were down close to 100% from a year ago. They don't like to hear that. One of the sick people, one of the brave service members who helped achieve this stunning turnaround was 20-year-old West Virginia Army National Guard Specialist Sarah Beckstrom. After a 4-month deployment, she voluntarily extended her service. Her rank was going to be lifted. She was doing so well. They were so proud of her. But the very next day, she was on patrol.
And it was because of the Democrats.
When she was ambushed and shot in the head by a terrorist monster from Afghanistan. Shouldn't have been in our country. And all because she wore the uniform of our nation. She was shot. He traveled here because he didn't like people wearing our uniform. He was sick and deranged. Shouldn't have been in our country. Sarah Beckstrom died in order to defend our country.
So this goes going back to emotions, right? We get it. There are bad illegal immigrants or aliens. There's illegal immigration here, and some of them do really bad things, especially if they got in through illegal means or they overstayed their visa or whatever it is, and they're doing bad things. We get it. That's not what this is about. I think we found out that ICE is targeting everybody. They're saying that's what they're doing, but then they're going after everybody. Anybody they can find. There's a quota. It's well known that they're just going after numbers at this point. It doesn't matter how they do it. They're doing little kids, families. It doesn't matter, right? It's not about that, and that's what everybody thought it would be. So he's turned it into something else completely. He's lost a lot of credibility, and he knows it. But he keeps going into these emotional stories, and that's why he goes for hours. And he makes it more and more gruesome, more and more gruesome. And he tells this story. And whenever anybody says, hey, if you cared that much about it, you go after just that or mainly that. But everybody knows he's turned it into something else completely. He knows it. People doubt that he actually cares that much himself. That's the issue. People are seeing it. He's using that as an excuse to go in and operate this private police force that he's created for himself. So this is why he needs to get checked and balanced, folks. And this is why I love America. It's because even people like him, power hungry, egotistical, wants more power, will do anything for power, will do anything to expand his power, will do anything to submit people to his will, can't do it. He can't do. He's getting checked by SCOTUS. Not everywhere, but he's getting checked by SCOTUS on pretty important topics. That's the beauty of America. He's trying to do it. He's one of those guys that if you don't check him, he's going to keep taking more. He's going to keep testing you. Remember, this is a guy who bullied his own brother to death. This is the type of guy he is. So this is what we're dealing with. His parents couldn't control him, send him to boarding school, right? As a youth. His parents couldn't even control him. I call it rich people problems because most people can't afford to send their kids to boarding school, right? So that was his only true military service, if you want to call it that.
Nice to see he's a good-looking guy. Nice to see him. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you very much.
And the problem is, people are starting to doubt everything that he's saying, the sincerity of anything he's saying at this point. So, but of course, you don't want to. You got to separate the victim's issue with Donald Trump himself, which Donald Trump doesn't care about these people. These are pawns for him.
With the award created by our late great President George Washington himself. It's called the Purple Heart.
I don't even know what they're celebrating at this point. But he's gotten so divisive, you just turn it off. You know what I mean? He's just speaking to his own supporters. You're not bringing anybody else in, like any other president in history.
We love you all. Love you. We're proudly restoring safety for Americans at home, and we are also restoring security for Americans abroad. Our country has never been stronger. My first 10 months, I ended 8 wars, including Cambodia. Isn't it funny? Some sick people. Cambodia and Thailand, Pakistan and India would have been a nuclear war. 35 million people, said the Prime Minister of Pakistan, would have died if it were not for my involvement. Kosovo and Serbia.
All right, y'all, it's late for me.
Iran, Egypt, and Ethiopia.
I'm going to turn this off. Same talking points. But basically, my take is he's underwater. He's in trouble. He's scared. That's what I picked up. And he's going to do everything he can to fight what's going to happen at the midterms. He's going to try to do what he can in elections. He's going to try to do all this stuff, right? And we'll see if it works, but I don't think it will. I think America works. It's going to work the way it's supposed to work. Okay, so, he's an old guy, so he's not going to change his ways. You can't expect old people to change their ways, right? Dude is 80. He's got his way of doing things, and he's just going to keep doing it. So I don't expect anything different. That's the unfortunate thing. I always hope for something different, and then hope gets replaced real quick with that's the same stuff. That's the same stuff he's been saying. And it's gotten him into this hole, and he doesn't know what else to do besides keep doing it. And I think he's losing a lot of people along the way. Personally, I wanted to see him be successful. But a lot of the people who I had trusted to kind of see and know whether he did something different or whether he changed or whether he was different, a lot of them, unfortunately, ended up being in the Epstein files. And so I'm like, these people did all that and said all that and kissed up to this president because they were so heavily involved with that Epstein scandal, right? Bill Gates, for example, was like, oh, he's changed a lot. Jamie Dimon said he's changed a lot. Jamie Dimon, I think everybody knows well at this point, Epstein moved a lot of money through JP Morgan. Bill Gates was heavily involved with Epstein. And even if they are not culpable for doing something, the point is their presence in the Epstein files and around Epstein all the time gave Epstein the ability to recruit and lure these young girls. So, I mean, just being around Epstein gave him clout. I don't think that's what, I don't think people understand that part. Or maybe they do and they just don't care. And I don't care what people accept nowadays, but I can't accept that. And I don't think our society should accept that. We shouldn't lower our standards just because a president says it should be lowered. You know what I mean? It's okay. We can be against pedophiles. It's perfectly fine. The laws are in place for a reason. Just because this president is immune from getting prosecuted for doing that stuff, it doesn't mean that those other people are immune. So, including Steve Bannon. These are the loudest people in support of Trump, by the way. So, Steve Bannon's super loud about it. Crazy times. Thought I'd provide some point to point, but man, it's getting late for me, and I need to do other stuff besides listening to an old man rant. So, all right, y'all, have a good night.